5 days before the election in November, the governor of Alabama, this handsome devil, Republican Governor Robert Bentley, he got some excellent news. That sweet, sweet, sweet news was that the Alabama House impeachment investigation against him had been put on pause, been put on hold. You might remember last year, Governor Bentley made national headlines for his involvement in a surprisingly high-octane sex scandal for this retired dermatologist and church deacon. The crusading family values Republican governor had allegedly been having an affair with one of his close advisors. He denied it, but the scandal blew sky high with the release of a sex tape, an audio tape in which the governor could be heard saying a lot of very specific, lurid things about what he wanted to do to and with his lover, who he denied was his lover. It's burned into my brain like somebody wrote it there with a branding iron. Anyway, once the tape and all the rest of it came to light, a committee in the Alabama legislature launched an impeachment investigation into whether the governor had used state resources to help cover up the affair. By September, that committee had issued subpoenas for the governor's documents. The investigation was proceeding, but then, 5 days before the presidential election, November 3rd, that impeachment inquiry in the legislature got put on hold. Got put on hold at the direction of the state attorney general, Republican attorney general of Alabama. His name is Luther Strange. He told the legislature that their investigation could interfere with his investigation. They should put their proceedings on hold, let the AG take it from here. The Attorney General wrote a letter to the legislature November 3rd that said it would be, quote, prudent and beneficial to delay the work of the House Judiciary Committee. Quote, I respectfully request that the committee cease active interviews and investigation until I am able to report to you that the necessary related work of my office has been completed. Letter dated November 3rd. 5 days later, Donald Trump won the presidential election. Today, Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions was sworn in as the country's 84th Attorney General. And back in Alabama, Governor Robert Bentley got to announce who he would pick to replace Jeff Sessions as Alabama Senator. Want to guess who he picked? It's too easy. Obviously, he picked the Attorney General, Luther Strange, the guy who put the kibosh on the impeachment investigation into the governor in the legislature because of his own related investigation. Today, he jetted to Washington to be sworn in as your newest United States Senator. Back in Alabama, today's events were greeted with headlines like these. Robert Bentley's strange bargain sets new benchmark for Alabama corruption. Or this one, LovGov's strange appointment, naked Alabama politics. But at today's announcement in Montgomery, the Alabama Press Corps was assured there was nothing to see here. It was all totally above board.
Senator, some critics have said that after you called for a pause in the investigation was bad. Can you respond to that? I don't see an issue in the election.
You know, I don't see it as an issue. The letter that was sent to the legislature that you're referring to was sent before there was even a presidential election. I mean, politics is the furthest thing from anybody's mind, as they are always in these kind of cases.
Governor, what would you say about the concern that there's a conflict of interest because General Strange had asked for this impeachment investigation to be suspended?
Let me answer that. General Strange just answered the question. He wrote that letter long before anybody ever thought President Trump would be president.
Next question.
Next question? No big deal? Politics is the first thing from anybody's mind. Let me just put it to you this way, though. Not only did the governor of Alabama just get to give the deal of a lifetime, right? The deal of a lifetime, a job for life as U.S. Senator, to the guy who may or may not have been investigating him for this thing that he was otherwise potentially going to get impeached for. But he now also gets to pick his replacement as Attorney General. So he gets to pick basically the outcome for the investigation of his impeachment scandal and sex scandal, which made today an even better day for the governor of Alabama than that day 5 days before the election. Amazing. Joining us now is John Archibald, columnist for the Birmingham News. Mr. Archibald, it's really nice to see you. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, Rachel.
Did I basically get that right? Are those sort of the dynamics here?
Oh, yes, you did. The optics are terrible, but the ethics are far worse.
So, for those of us who haven't been following the politics here very closely, just nut up for us here for a second. Why this particular appointment is so problematic. I was struck by a comment from the state auditor that of all the people who the governor was considering putting in that Jeff Sessions seat, that the one that you should pray he doesn't pick, the one that was so ethically disastrous, would be for him to put Luther Strange there. Why has there been such concern?
Well, because this is a guy who is holding a special grand jury that is considering whether to indict the governor of Alabama. And this is the guy who went to the governor of Alabama, regardless of when that letter was filed, and said, please give me this job while I am considering whether to indict you or not. It is one of the most amazingly, it is corrupt on its face.
In terms of what happens next here, obviously the special election is not going to be until 2018. Meanwhile, though, the governor now gets to also pick a new attorney general, right? He gets to replace somebody else to take over for Luther Strange as attorney general, conceivably the person who's going to take over that investigation that could lead to an indictment.
Right. And let's face it, the attorney general himself has not been really involved in these investigations. He's more like, I don't want to be involved, and let's professional prosecutors handle it. But a number of the people that are being talked about as replacements are close friends of Bentley or close to Bentley, and it's really thought that they will, could go as far as to disband the corruption unit, and as soon as that happens, we're in a whole nother world.
John, what's the opinion about this? What's public opinion like on this subject in Alabama? Obviously, I know the partisan contours of Alabama. I know it's a red state. I know that the Republicans have a lock on state government. But how do people feel about this?
They are aghast. I think most of them that I've talked to certainly find it unbelievable, and they really do believe that if Luther Strange really wanted to be senator for life, he would have had the nerve to say no to this appointment and to not seek it. Obviously, it's difficult to root out a sitting senator, but I think it will haunt him. I think it will haunt both of them.
John Archibald, columnist for the Birmingham News in Alabama. John, thank you for helping us understand. I appreciate it. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.